Alright, so good day, second year students. So this is gonna be a quick recap with our subject transportation management in tourism. So again, we've discussed 7 chapters for this semester, and everything that we will be discussing tonight will be the coverage of your exams. So again and again, it's gonna be chapter 1 to 7, and I'll be pointing some lessons that are really important on this subject. Okay, so we have discussed about the introduction to tourism transportation management. First, we have the tourism and transportation. We also have the effects of transportation to tourism development. We have the principles of transportation management and operations. We have the classifications of transport. We have the modes of transport and the factors to consider while choosing the most suitable mode of transport. So, this has been discussed by me as well. This is the first chapter wherein we have said that tourism is the movement of the people from their usual place to another, right? So, of course, when we are gonna be traveling, we needed the transportation. That's why the transportation plays a great role to the tourism industry. So transportation, through its role of movement of goods and people, decisively influences the other branches of the world economy, including the local and international tourism. So without the transportation, there won't be the travel and the tourism industry. So people won't have needs to reach another places and their desire to see. So therefore, the development of the transportation is linked to the development of tourism. If transportation grows, tourism will also grow. So yeah. Okay. So let's now go to the effects of tourism to tourism development. So transportation is very vital to tourism. So studies have shown that tourists spend almost 30 to 40% of their total holiday expenditure on the transportation, and the remaining is the food, accommodation, and other activities. This is gawas niya sa inyong exam, diba? So of course, it's because the transportation links tourists to various tourist attractions. So if naay mga bagong nga tourist attractions, mo ginang unang pangutanon, accessible ba diha og transportation? Unsay sakyan padulong diha? Tagpila ka ang pliti, no? Layo ba gid ka ha? Or ana, kailangan ba mag-airplane? Mag-motor lang padulong diha? Or unsa ba kay sakyan? So that's why transportation plays a really, really great role for that one. And of course, transportation is also important in terms of promoting the growth and the development of the existing tourist destinations. So, on the other hand, transportation leads to pollution, and this can both affect the wildfire and the wildlife and the natural habitat, thereby driving tourism away. So it really has pros and cons. That's why when we are visiting a particular tourist attraction, we have to make sure that we consider the wildlife and the natural habitat of that particular place, right? So, we have the two major principles of transportation management and operations. We have the economy of scale and we have the economy of distance. So, in sa Bisaya pa, of course, economy of scale, yung timbang. So, kung mas mahal ang imong itimbang, imong ipadala nga goods, ay mas bugat imong ipadala nga goods, excuse me. So, kung mas bugat imong ipadala nga goods, of course, mas mahal siya. Pero if kang sulat lang, paper lang, envelope lang, ipadala nimo, syempre, barato ra gid pa siya, right? And of course, we have there the economy of distance, of course. Kung mas layo imo adtuan, syempre mas mahal. Kung mas duol ra imo adtuan, syempre mas duol ra pod ang pamiliti. So yeah, easy as that. So this subject won't really give you a very, very headache for a hard time and understanding this one. So of course, we have the classification of transport, we have the private transportation, and we have the public transportation. So easy as that. Private transportation, kana nato mga own vehicle, nato own motor, wherein we can use it anytime, everywhere, anytime we wanted, everywhere we wanted to go, because it's ours, it's private transportation. But when we have the public transportation, muna siya mga bus, mga airplanes, public buses, public airplanes, katong mga habal-habal or mga motorela nga gabiyahe gid kada adlaw for the public transportation. Yeah, so definitely easy as that. Okay, so we have here the air transportation. When we say air transportation, we have three kinds of transportation. We have the air transportation, we have the land transportation, and of course we have the rail transportation, and we have the water transportation as well. So again, we have three kinds of transportation: the air transport, and the land transport, and the water transport. So of course, when we say air transport, we have the helicopters and we have the airplanes. But helicopters is likely katulad na siya sa mga dato or sa mga kalimitang sundalo and stuff like that. Though in United States, I've tried riding an helicopter dito ra no, for the very first time. Katry ko mag-ride kag airplane for like $40 or $60 as well. So mura ra ko kag mag-tour lang ka gamit ang helicopter. And I think we have that here in the Philippines as well, mag-ride kag helicopter. But usually when it comes to air transportation, we usually use the airplanes, you know, the Airbuses, wherein we have the Cebu Pacific, we have the Philippine Airlines, we have the Air Asia, and then you have memorized all the IATA codes for that one, and then IATA codes for the airports or that one. So you know, it really is a big help for you guys, especially when you were graduating in this course. Okay, so in the land transportation, we have two kinds of that one. We have the road transportation and we have the rail transportation. Of course, the road, we are using the main roads, and the rail transportation, of course, we are using the LRT trains and stuff like that. So, and also, we have here the water transport, wherein we have the cruise ship, we have the katong mga public kanang magkokalyo and stuff like that. We have the yate, so we have a lot of water transportation that can offer. So yeah, there's many of that. Of course, we have discussed the factors to consider while choosing the most suitable mode of transportation of goods. First is the cost of service. Of course, we have to be considered if tagpila gid ang pliti, the cost of service for that one. Of course, the speed of transport o siya sa kapaspason. What is the quickest mode of transportation? That is the airline, right? We have the flexibility, we have the regularity of the service, we have the safety, and of course the nature of commodity. Right, so those are being discussed before. We have elaborated that one before, and basta magawas siya gina siya sa exam. Okay, let's go now to the air transportation again and again. We have here the characteristics. We've discussed about the characteristics of the air transport, the list and the advantage and disadvantages of using the air transportation. We have here the ICAO and the IATA codes, which is you guys had a great performance with the IATA codes. Wala apil katong mga uban nga wala gid nagtuon, pero katong nagtuon, good job to all of you guys. Okay. Again, air transportation is a type of transport that moves through the air, and any vehicle that can sustain flight is part of the air transportation industry. And there are various different types, you know, from short domestic flights to long-haul international travel. Air transport is a big part of the travel and tourism industry. Okay, so of course, we also have the types of air transport. We have the aeroplanes, dire na nabilong ato mga airbuses. We have the helicopters. We have the hot air balloons, you know. We have the blimps. Kato siyang katubitang sa blimps kani siya oh. Blimps katubitang sa money heist na mura siya air balloon nga mura siya airplane, something like that. And we also have the gliders, katang small chartered planes, wherein it's a fixed wing aircraft. However, it is free flight, doesn't rely on the engine. So motor gliders have small engines extending their flights. Okay. So that's pretty much it. We have discussed a lot about the air transportation. We have here the airline tickets. We have here the International Air Transportation Association, mo na siyang IATA, an international trade body representing 24 airlines comprising 94% of the scheduled international air traffic. So IATA aims to help the airlines help themselves by simplifying processes and increasing passenger convenience while reducing costs and improving efficiency. Safety is IATA's number one priority, and IATA's goal is to continually improve safety standards, notably through IATA's Operational Safety Audit (IOSA). Another main concern is to minimize the impact of air transport on the environment. So yeah, mana na siya. Okay. So that's pretty much it for the airline transportation. Chapter 3 would be the water transportation. So again and again, water transport is defined as the process of moving people, freight, and mails by barge, boat, ship, or sailboat over a sea, ocean, lake, canal, and river by the other types of water transportation. It is an important mode of transport. It is the cheapest means of transporting bulky and perishable goods over long distances. This mode of transportation is primarily used for carriage of people, perishable and non-perishable goods, which are generally referred to as cargo. So as you can see, the water transportation mo gini siya ang magdala sa mga bulk items, if magdala tag mga bukag saging gikan from Mindanao to Manila, mo gini siya ang usually ginagamit as type of transportation nga magdala ng mga karga ha. Kaya syempre it can bring more than kanang mas dako gyud nga tonnage, kaysa sa airplane magdala ka saging, mas mahal pa gyud siya, di ba? Societies have located near water due partly to the fact that water enables more efficient travel compared to going overland. Yeah. So what are the examples of water transportation vehicles? So we have the motorboat, the cargo ship, the speedboat, we have the sailboat, the yacht, the ferry, the canoes, the battleship, the cruise ships, the jet ski, the windsurfer, the riverboat, the submarines. All of that was being discussed by us before, diba? Okay. So we've also discussed the advantage and disadvantage of the water transport. And also, we have discussed about the liners, the trams, kato siya. So, muna kayo na siya para sa inyo. So, discuss natin siya. Okay, we have also discussed about the cruise tourism, which is a water-based transport that is one of the most traditional and memorable ways for visitors to travel to and from a destination. It is not the only way to travel, but a tourism experience it for itself. Cruise tourism has been a growing market sector around the world, not only as a means to travel, but too as a destination of an experience. Yeah. Cruise tourism can be defined as a luxury form of traveling involving an all-inclusive holiday on a cruise ship at least 48 hours with a set of specific itinerary in which the cruise ship calls several ports and city. So yeah, as you can see, cruise is something that is very luxury because if mag-avail ka na inclusive ng tanan, and then mato ka sa ship, so from the ship itself, tourist attraction na gid siya, kay grabe gid ka amazing ang nasa sulod, you can see a lot of videos all over the internet wherein what's inside a cruise, what's happening, and what can the cruise can offer. So there's really a lot of things going on in the cruise. Plus, maadto pagid maglain-lain nga lugar, maadto pagid lain-lain nga ports to visit. So it's definitely all in one experience, kid, Okay, so the significance of cruise industry and tourism is very big business, according to the report by the Cruise Line International Association, it's 20% until it's 20% in cruising in the global cruise passengers reached 25.8 million in 2017 and forecasting to reach 29.2 million in 2020. How much more 2023? So there's really a lot. Labaw na karon that we are gabangon na from the pandemic, so a lot of people would really wanted to travel and try the cruise ship itself. Yeah. Okay, so we have discussed that as well already. Okay, now let's go to the chapter 5, which is the land transportation. So of course, the land transportation is a transport or movement of people, animals, or goods from one location to other. The two main forms of land transport can be considered to be as rail transport and the road transport. We have discussed that, of course. What are types of ground transport? We have the car, we have the buses, we have the train, we have the bicycle, we have the trams. And also, when it comes to road transportation, is an integral part of the tourism system. Road transport means transportation of goods and personnel from one place to another on roads. Road is a route between two destinations which has either paved or worked and enable transportation by monetized or non-monetized carriage. So with that, we have a lot of things we have discussed about this one. What are the advantages and disadvantages? We have discussed this as well already, and just memorize and just familiarize on that one. So easy as that, masabtan naman gid niyo and ma-explain na gid ninyo nga kamo lang, di ba? Okay. Of course, rail transport is known as train transportation. It means the transport of vehicles which run on tracks. So railroads, gid siya, di ba? It is one of the most commonly used and because effective cost because of commuting goods and carriage as long and short distances. Rail transport has emerged as one of the most dependable modes of transport in terms of safety. Trains are fast and at least affected by usual weather turbulences like rain or fog compared to other transport mechanisms. Rail transport is better organized than any other medium of transport. It has fixed routes and schedules, and its services are more certain, uniform, and regular compared to another modes of transport. Rail transport originated from human-hauled contraptions in ancient Greece. Now it is evolved in modern, complex, and sophisticated system used to both in urban and cross-country and continent networks all over the long distances. Okay. So again, we are already at chapter 6 of our review. We have the trends and issues in transportation. So, na-discuss na natin ni unsa man itong mga issue diri karon. Of course, we have to take care of the environmental impacts. We're in the air impacts. We have the rail impacts, the cruise impacts, the land impacts, and of course, the weather. So, weather is something that we always consider when it comes to transportation is because kung mag-ulan, lisod kay biyaheon. Kung magbagyo, samot na kalisod ang barko. Although ang ulan, makabiyahe ra gyapon ang mga bus, mga cars, mga four-wheeled vehicle. But katong mga nagmotor, makabiyahe gyapon pero luoy gid kay ang pasahero, di ba? Katong mga walay roof na mga transportation. Okay? And then lastly, we have discussed about the transportation in the Philippines, wherein we have here the air. When it comes to air transportation in the Philippines, we have the Cebu Pacific, we have the Pal Express or the Philippine Airlines, and now we have the Air Asia. And also, we have discussed about the airports in the Philippines where you guys was able to memorize some of the IATA codes of that one, and good job to all of you. Sa mga oral, daghan kay mga naka-answer agad sa mga IATA codes of that one. And of course, when it comes to the rail system in the Philippines, we have the LRT and the MRT as well, right? And of course, and for the water transportation in the Philippines, we have the Tugo, the Cebu ferries, the Cocalyong shipping lines, we have the Roble shipping lines, Sulpicia lines, the Gothong, and the TransAsia, and so on. And so, we have the modes of transportation in the Philippines. We have the jeepneys, muna siya yung project, right? Jeepneys, tricycle, kalesa, bangka, or ferry boat. We have the pedicab, we have the habal-habal, rail cars, we have the carabao, motorella, buses, and taxis, trains, vans, wooden scooter, hand tractor, and airplanes. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the quick review, and I'm also giving a bonus on what is what will you expect in our exams, I'm giving you the bonus questions, and what are the points of interest, what are points or lessons that you will be able to focus on nga magawa sa tong final exams. So first and foremost, okay, so the birth of modern car was occurred in 1886, and which is invented by a German inventor named Carl Benz, right? Okay, so what is the quickest mode of transportation? That is the airplane. Okay, so the oldest mode of transportation that still exists today. It's not jeepney, it is kalesa. Okay, so this is a three-wheeled vehicle which is a smaller version of jeepney. It exists sa Cagayan. It is the Motorella. Okay, so the most economical, convenient, and popular for long distance travel all over the world. This is the train, right? So what does CAAP means? It is the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. Okay, so what does ICAO means? So International Civil Aviation Authority. International Civil Aviation Organization. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So, what is the ultimate Philippine form of transportation? It is the jeepney. Okay. So, it is known as air cushion vehicle that is capable of traveling over land, the water, the mud, and the ice and other surfaces. Grabe ni siya ka-powerful na vehicle. Mano siya gitawag na hovercraft. Again, what is IATA? Kato yung gi-memorize. Sa una pa lang. The International Air Transport Association. Okay, so canals is an artificial waterways made for purpose of irrigation or navigation. And rivers, it is a natural riverway which can be used as a mode of transportation. Okay, vaporetto, which is a water taxis in Venice, And a water transport, it is the process of moving people, freight, and mails by barge, boat, ship, or sailboat over the sea, ocean, lake, and river. Okay. So, what are the types of water transport vehicles? It is the water boat, the cargo ship, the sailboat, the yacht, the ferry, the canoe, the raft boat, the battleship, the cruise ship, the jet ski, the windsurfer, the riverboat, the submarine, and the tugboat. Okay, what are the types of transportation? Of course, the water transportation, the air transportation, and the land transportation. Let's go now to the three types of vessels employed in overshipping. We have here the liners, the tramps, and the tankers. Okay. Alright, so now let's proceed with the enumeration. So we have here the examples of the water transport vehicles, and we have here okay, so let's go now to the enumeration. So letter D, what are the important points and facts in creating the cruise itinerary? So we've discussed this before in your exams as well. So we have here the name of the cruise, of course. What is the sailing date of the cruise? What are the destinations, and what are the port of embarkation? What are the port of termination? Ahamo naog ug ahamo gikan ug ahamo naog. And the client choice, and the budget of the client, and the legal formalities. So there are 7 of that one. Okay, so next would be the modes of transportation in the Philippines. So, syaro di mo kan sa ani nga nani sa inyong project. So, we have the jeepneys, the tricycles, we have the kalesa, we have the bangka or the ferry boats, we have the pedicab, we have the habal-habal, we have the rail carts, we have the carabao, motorella, We have the buses, we have the taxis, we have the trains, we have the vans, wooden scooter, and we have the hand tractor ride and the airplanes. Yeah. So we have the essays as well. So it's for you to answer on your very own choice and your very own words. And then we will also have this fill in the tables wherein I'll give you the airport names and you'll give me the IATA code. So some of that is been given to you last week because na-memorize natin yun ng ubang Philippines and then sa international as well. So in the Philippines, we have the katong mga CRK with the CEB, Francisco Bangoy Airport in Davao. We have the General Santos, we have the Iloilo, we have the Calibo, the Lagindingan, Ninoy International Airport, Ninoy Aquino International Airport, and also search for that the Bohol International Airport, the Puerto Princesa, not the one in Busuanga, and the Pagadian Airport. And also in the international scenes, we have there the Los Angeles, we have the Miami. Ang wala ninyo na recite last time is, you gotta search for this one, okay? The Singapore Changi Airport. We also have the Suvarnabhumi Airport, which is the one in the Thailand, and also in the Phuket International Airport, because maybe our international tour would be in Thailand, but it would depend on the budget as well. So those are the two airports in Thailand that you guys need to know the IATA codes, okay? Again, the Suvarnabhumi Airport and the Phuket International Airport. So again and again, I wish you all the best and I wish you all the luck on your final exam. Make the most of it. This is your last exam on my subject. The last final exam na gid ni siya. So I hope you guys will do good on this one para makabuhi mo sa inyong mga grades, okay? And I think that's pretty much it for today. And have a great day, everyone. Thank you and God bless.